And if you had to give just one piece of advice for someone who's just starting their career in L&D, what would that be?
Stay curious and continuously evolve. I think things are changing quickly, quicker than I've ever seen in my entire life. And I think it is important to stay on top of things, or at least as much as you can. And that's where the curiosity comes into play.
I think the most valuable advice is being curious. And as my Brian Tracy says, always learn, keep learning. And yeah, there is nothing bad in not knowing something. The bad is when you are not willing to learn.
It's a slogan of a brand. Just do it. From my experience, I started with small steps. I didn't know back then where it would lead me, but the moment you show up, the moment you decide to take the ownership of your career, then a miracle happens, and then one step leads to another, and people start attracting to your life. So I would say the miracle of small steps, and just do it.
Embrace AI in every aspect of what you do around learning. But remember that we are teaching people and not machines.
But probably to learn as much as you can, like learn all the time, just keep learning, even when you feel like you know instructional design and you know L&D and it's all clear, still keep going, because learning, especially from the scientific point of view, like there's so much still to discover and explore, and new evidence pops up every now and then, and new research from companies, but also from academic institutions, and there's always something new to learn and to use. So my advice would be just keep learning.
Don't lose your curiosity. And I say that because I think after 15 years of doing this, you at times will waver in different corporate politics and different things that you have to do, and sometimes people lose that curiosity that may have first brought them into the world of L&D, and particularly the role. So I'd say continue to be curious, and don't be afraid to explore and experiment, because again, it's very easy to find yourself in a rut and following very robotic processes. But I think the beauty and joy out of all of this role in industry is continuing to explore and continuing to experiment to help other people do that as well. So yeah, it sounds corny, but that would be my best advice that I continue to go back to.
I would simply say become a data storyteller, because we are, living in the age of big data. So leverage data analytics as much as you can to narrate your story, and also to, iterate on your designs. Especially if you are new in this space, people will give you too much of advice, but it's important to follow data-driven insights before you make any decision.
Keep an open mind. That is so important in L&D, because there's so many different perspectives. And it's not just from L&D experts, it's from the people who are learning. They've got great insights, and we need to listen to them, take their advice. Even if they don't know our jargon and vocabulary, they know what they want.
I would say don't accept blindly what you hear out there, L&D wise. I think there are a lot of mental models that are predominantly old. For example, the idea that when you're designing a learning experience, you should follow the ADKAR model, for example, or that you should go into maybe a toolkit that has been used for ages. So I would say my one piece of advice is think by yourself, think for yourself, and don't get stuck into mental models just because an L&D person has told you. Challenge that.
It will be very counterintuitive, but I would say explore the world outside of L&D. Learn about behavioral science, about neuroscience, about systems thinking, product marketing. Just go ahead and explore as much as you can, things that are not necessarily related to L&D, because they will help you tremendously.